Oh, east is east, and west is west, and never the twain shall meet. And so began this poem called The Ballad of East and West by Rudyard Kipling. Hello and welcome to Today in History. I'm sure you're wondering what I'm talking about. This poem, East is East and West is West, and never the twain shall meet. Well, the twain did meet today. What do you think I'm talking about? Keep watching. Welcome to my channel. My name, again, is Sotonia Fiesibama. If you're a subscriber, thanks for dropping by once again. If you're here as a return visitor, you haven't subscribed yet, why not subscribe? Consider subscribing so that you receive updates of my video uploads. If you're here for the first time, thanks for coming to this channel. Thanks for dropping by. I just share important historical events that occurred on this day, so that we can learn lessons from history and hopefully improve on our future. Because as they say, history tends to repeat itself. So I'm hoping that we reduce the repetitiveness of negative history, basically. And so that when we see negative events unfolding, we would make a reference to an event that happened in the past. And hopefully we can change the course of history. Okay, without much ado, let us get cracking with today's Today in History. The year is 1858 and Giacomo Puccini was born on this day. Puccini, popularly known as Puccini, he was an Italian composer, classical composer. Born on this day, he's the man pictured here, Giacomo Puccini. He was born in Lucca, Italy, and died on the 29th of November 1924 at the age of 65 in Brussels, Belgium. So this is the famous Puccini, who was born on this day in 1858. Go check him out. Absolutely fantastic composer. Puccini, born on this day, Italian composer. He died 29th of November 1924 at the age of 65. Now let's move on to next dude. Also born on this day in 1883. His name is Wergs Mitchell. He was the first African American to be elected to Congress as a Democrat. He was born on this day in Lafayette, Alabama. He died on the 9th of May 1968 at the age of 85. So again, Wergs Mitchell, the first African American to be elected to Congress as a Democrat. In 1887, Srinivasa Ramanujan. Ramanujan, the man who knew infinity. Now, this guy was a mathematician, not traditionally trained to begin with. Here's an interesting story. He was an Indian mathematician who lived during the British rule in India. Though he had almost no formal training in pure mathematics, he made substantial contributions to mathematical analysis, number theory, infinite series, and continued fractions, including solutions to mathematical problems then considered unsolvable. He eventually came to the University of Cambridge in England, where he produced groundbreaking new theorems, including some that defeated his postal partner. So he was in a postal partnership with this guy called G.H. Hardy, a British mathematician. And they were, corresponding over post, over the mail, writing letters and, and so on and so forth. He eventually came to Cambridge, and G.H. Hardy confessed that, and I quote, "I had never seen anything in the least like them before," referring to his the solutions and his mathematical way of thinking, of solving problems. He basically confessed that he was defeated by Srinivasa Ramanujan. So he's a celebrated Indian mathematician who was born on this day in 1887 during the British rule in India. Okay, the man who knew infinity. Right, let's move on now to the year 1941. Franklin Delano Roosevelt pictured here. This was the day that the US President Franklin D. Roosevelt and Prime Minister Winston Churchill met in Washington, D.C. to discuss World War II. So that's Winston Churchill there. And we have the two men meeting on this day in Washington, D.C. And the year was 1941. So the Second World War started in 1939 and lasted for 6 years. So that's Winston Churchill and Franklin Delano Roosevelt hanging out, discussing the Second World War. This is quite a famous picture, so go check it out. Go check out pictures of this day if you're interested in history, war history. Okay, Robin Gibb. How deep is your love? How deep is your love? So this is Robin Gibb, who was born on this day in 1949, British Australian musician and singer, part of the Bee Gees. The Bee Gees were a group of brothers who, were very good, quite good. So go check them out, the Bee Gees, if you haven't heard about them before. Robin Gibb was born on this day in 1949. He is British Australian musician and singer. In 1960, on this day, Jean-Michel painter, was born on this day in 1960 in New York to a Puerto Rican mother and a Haitian father. He gained popularity first as a graffiti artist in New York City and then as a successful 1980s era neo-expressionist artist. Basquiat's paintings continue to influence modern-day artists and command high prices. He died from a drug overdose in 1988 on the 12th of August. So this is Jean-Michel Basquiat, who was born on this day in 1960. This is a self-portrait. American painter, Puerto Rican mother and Haitian father, graffiti artist, and he was a successful 1980s era neo-expressionist artist. So neo simply means new expressionist artist. Okay. Rapper, also born on this day, 1960, known as Uncle Luke, pictured here. Real name, Luke R. Campbell, also known as Luke Skywalker, Sky with 2 W's, and he was born on this day. He is a rapper, born in Miami, Florida. So happy birthday, Uncle Luke, who is 60 years old today. 2 years later, in 1962, Ralph Fiennes was born. He's 58 today. He is an English actor. Happy birthday, Ralph Fiennes. In 1972, 10 years later, Big Tiger, who turns 48 today, was born. He is a television radio personality. Born Darius Morgan in the Bronx, New York. He has hosted several television shows, including Rhapsody and 106 and Park. He is now syndicated on the radio. So this is Big Tiger, television radio personality. Real name Darius Morgan, born on this day in 1972. He is a television show host, and he has hosted shows like Rhapsody and 106 and Park. On this day in 1989, the beautiful Jordin Sparks, who turns 31 today, was born. She is a singer, American Idol, born in Phoenix, Arizona. On the 23rd of May 2007, she was declared the winner of the 6th season of the reality television show American Idol. So Jordin Sparks is 31 today. Happy birthday, Jordin Sparks, American Idol winner in 2007 on the 23rd of May. On this day in 1965, pardon the going back in time, a bit anachronistic here, but 1965, Dr. Zhivago, the American movie, David Lean's adaptation of Boris Pasternak's novel, had its world premiere. It was hugely popular as a drama. It starred Omar Sharif and Julie Christie. It became one of cinema's highest grossing films. So Dr. Zhivago premiered on this day in 1965. Last but not least, on this day in 1989, the Brandenburg Gate was reopened. Now that's the answer to the clue, the cryptic puzzle at the beginning of this, and I started with a poem by Rudyard Kipling. The first line of the poem reads, "Oh, east is east and west is west, and never the two or the twain shall meet." So I carried on by saying, and so began this poem called The Ballad of the East and West by Rudyard Kipling. So on this day in the year 1989, East did meet West when the Brandenburg Gate reopened. That signified the reunification of East and West Germany. For those of you who do not know why Germany divided, if you like, well, there was something called the Second World War, which led to the partitioning of Germany. Well, yeah, the rest, as I say, is history. So go check out history, type in German reunification, and you can find out a bit more about Germany. Okay, so on that note, folks, we have come to the end of today's Today in History. Thank you for dropping by once again. Do not forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I shall see you tomorrow, the 23rd of December, 2020. Remember, stay safe. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.